voices. Well, get ready, because we're here to change the game. The all-female podcast that's flipping the script on wrestling commentary. We are friends who live and breathe everything from this squared circle. We're talking about the high-flying action, the epic promos, the shocking heel turns, and the drama that happens both in and out of the ring. From the independent scene to the biggest pay-per-views, we cover it all. Each week, we dive deep into the latest news, review, recent shows, and give our unfiltered opinions on the biggest storylines. We're not afraid to get passionate, have a laugh, and maybe even disagree a little. We'll break down match psychology, celebrate the incredible athleticism of these performers, and share our predictions for what's coming next. We also love to shine a spotlight on the women's division, celebrating the progress and pushing for even more. So, if you're looking for a fresh, fun, and fiery take on the world of wrestling, you've found your new home. Don't miss out on a single episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and get ready to talk some smack with us.
You love women? Well, I don't, except for this lady right here, Nikki. We are your host, and welcome to Lipsticks and Lariats, episode 11, I believe. The podcast where the takes are sharp, the sarcasm is free, and the only thing more dramatic than professional wrestling is the internet arguing about professional wrestling. I'm Catherine, aka She Hates Women's Wrestling, with my tag team partner, the beautiful Nikki from the bar. And today, we are diving into the wild world of sports entertainment, and we get to hear the doggy.
An Amazon truck just drove by and he is not having it. So apologies. Jackson says hi.
No, we love to hear from Jackson. So today we're breaking down the biggest stories in wrestling, debating the hottest takes in the business, and probably questioning one booking decision that made no sense. So let's be honest, that's basically a weekly tradition. So grab your belt, your snacks, and maybe keep a sexist friend nearby. Subscribe to the podcast and the home of Lipsticks and Lariats, the weekly steel chair. So, this is Lipsticks and Lariats. Before we get into our segment, if you notice my background, I do want to say rest in peace to one of the goats of NASCAR, Kyle Busch, who was my favorite NASCAR driver, who died suddenly of an illness on Thursday. I went in to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I was like, okay, get a thing that he was in the hospital. By the end of the movie, Bridget's like, Mom, Kyle Busch died. I was like, what the fuck? And I yelled that out in the middle of the theater. So that's how I found out about my favorite race car driver dying.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's crazy. Also a wrestling fan.
Yes. He actually was the 24/7 champion at one time.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So,
but, rest in peace.
It makes you realize how precious life is. And it's, don't hold grudges. Be woman enough, man enough to say, hey, I'm sorry. Repair those bridges, because you never know.
Yep.
So, as you know, our first segment of the show is our top rope segment where we discuss headlines. So, Nikki, could Baron Corbin be returning to WWE?
I wouldn't be mad if he returns, but please don't put him with Danhausen. And you know how much I love Danhausen. I actually really loved Baron Corbin. I loved NXT Corbin, and then his, bum-ass Corbin when he was like this sad little pickle, and then he came back and he was like Lucky Corbin or whatever they were called, Happy Corbin. Then back to NXT with him and Braun Breaker. That should have been they were champions. That got broken up way too soon. I hope he does come back. People are putting him with Danhausen. I'm like, no, please don't. But why not? Everyone comes.
Probably what they're gonna do, unfortunately. But Baron Corbin is kind of like Jericho, where he can reinvent himself, and it works. Yeah. Like they kept giving him like shitty gimmicks, and he made them work.
Yep.
It was kind of like he was saying, fuck you. You can give me the worst fucking gimmick. I'm going to get that bitch over just to stick it to you.
Yeah. I think he was great. I would love to see him back.
I've really liked what he's done on the indies. I've seen a couple of his MLW shows. I don't know. I kind of feel like WWE would fuck him again, though. But it's up to him. That's a chance he'll have to take.
Again, he had like the coolest move set, like the end of days. What's the other one? Something six. No, whatever that one was. And then it took forever that this finisher was like no one kicked out of it for like the longest time. Like I would love if he can come back and they can do it right. But again, to your point, I think Deep Six. There you go. Thank you, Reese. I don't know. I don't know if I trust the process enough for him to come back proper. But who's to say?
Who's to say? Well, I've had my ear to the ground and I've heard some rumors and got some tea to spill. So you know the rumor going around that there was a major WWE star that took a 50% pay cut?
Mm-hmm.
I know who that person was.
Are you going to share with the class?
Does the class want to take any guesses?
I don't know.
It was one Drew McIntyre.
Whoa.
According to my sources.
That's crazy pants. But is it
That's what I thought too. I guess he just really wants to stay.
Or is it at the point that like he kind of has 1 foot in WWE, like 1 foot in Hollywood? Like he's supposed to be in that Highlander movie and he's done that other movie. Like maybe he's trying to straddle both lines and be like, all right, well, if I'm not going to do, X amount of dates that you originally contracted me for, then maybe I will take a pay cut. But he still has like the WWE like tag on him that may make him more popular to other directors. Like, oh, he's in WWE, and then want to hire him. That's
maybe
crazy.
I was just shocked it was him.
Yeah.
I definitely was not expecting it to be him. So, WWE says they're going to focus on tag team wrestling again by bringing up teams from NXT and focusing on the ones already on the roster. I mean, you ain't got but like 1 or 2 left on your roster after you cut everybody WWE. So, how are they going to fix their tag division?
I'm trying to think who was on NXT for even them to bring up that's a proper team.
Who said they had to be proper as long as they're a team?
Again, there should be
just proper. Saying.
No, you're right. I guess the last tag team they brought up was Fraxium, and they're not doing anything with them.
I mean, who are they feuding with? Are they feuding with anybody, or are they just standing around?
Didn't they have a backstage segment with someone on SmackDown?
That's what I was thinking.
There was a backstage with somebody. But I don't think it...
I mean, what are you going to do? Throw Gargano with somebody since his real partner left?
The only person that's been interacting with him backstage is Sammy. You put Sammy and Johnny together? Johnny going to turn heel to be with Sammy? I don't think I'd love that.
I just want Sammy to be gone at this point.
I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Anytime
I don't either. I don't think they have the tag teams either in NXT, AAA, or what they have now to focus on their tag team wrestling division.
But honestly, I guess your kind of best tag teams are in AAA because last night I watched the match between the Americanos and the Spanish version of the Creed brothers, and that was a really fun match. So, and then,
I forgot they had the Creeds, and they have them on the main roster, and they ain't really ever done anything with them.
No, which they did when they came up, and they put in with Chad Gable, but then Chad Gable got hurt, and then you haven't really seen them. And now that they're doing the Americano versus Americano, that they're hanging around, and it's like when they're in AAA, they're the Credo brothers, and then on Maine they're just the Creed brothers. But I don't know. I think again the rumor is Enzo and Cass. I don't think bringing back Enzo and Cass is going to save your tag team division.
I don't think it is neither. I guess we'll just play the wait and see game.
Yep.
Also, want to give a shout out to Jordan Grace, who passed her FAA Airman Knowledge Test, who is working to get her pilot's license.
That's exciting.
At least she'll have a job to fall back on when she gets released.
No.
You know it's coming, Nikki.
Yeah, but then I feel like she can, like, AEW would, like, gobble her up. I don't think she would lack for work. But, like, if she wants to be a pilot, then girl, be a pilot.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to join the Air Force and be a fighter pilot. But unfortunately, my vision was not good. So I was like, damn. So, Double or Nothing is sold out tonight.
Good.
They even tried to rework the stage to open up some more sections.
Good for them. That's exciting. I don't know how big that building is, but if you have to try to, you know, maybe make the entrance smaller so you can fit another row in there, that's awesome.
Also, Jim Ross mentioned that he is being monitored for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Poor old man. Just so much shit has just fell into his lap. Or
he can't catch a break.
I know. It's like, this poor man, just let him do his podcast and sell his barbecue sauce. Leave him, like, the universe needs to leave him alone. He's a treasure.
I agree. The biggest news from this week was the arrest of one Ludwig Kaiser, which is a wild story, and I don't know how much is true and how much is fake, but I would say that if there was something to it, I don't think the state of Florida would allow him to travel and continue to work with WWE until his trial was set.
Right. And then the bail was only $1,000, which feels incredibly low.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, again, I feel like the rumors that's been floating around seems to just be the guy that got attacked point of view. If you see someone making out in an elevator and you're like, get some manners or whatever, like, someone be like, fuck off, whatever, make out harder, like, and then whatever, all the accounts of people saying that Marcel is just like the greatest human, like, this dude had to have said something to provoke him to beat him up.
That's what I was thinking after I was reading some of the stuff. I was like, if he swung at him, he had to be provoked.
Yeah. There's no, because if you're literally making out with your girlfriend in the elevator and someone's like, you know, get some manners, like, I would think you would make out even fucking harder. Like, you wouldn't be like, attack. Something had to be said. There's more to this story. And if he was just defending his girlfriend, then I love him even more than I already do. No, I'm not condoning violence. Don't hit people, but, like, clearly this man said something.
He had to, and the dude is probably looking for a payout.
Right. He's maybe realizing who he was and be like, oh, well, he's, you know, could be this, like, minor celebrity and works for a big company. Let me try to get some money. But, and again, I don't think this is going to hurt him. Clearly, again, he was in Mexico this weekend, so I hope this kind of just goes away. And I don't want this to tarnish him in any way, because I think he's on a hell of a run, and I don't want that to end.
Yeah, that's why I said if it was something serious, the state would not allow him to leave with, you know, being arrested.
Right.
And they wouldn't have set a bond that low if they thought he was a flight risk or something.
Right. Again, it's like a first-time offense.
Yeah, it's wild. So evidently a fan showed up to GalaxyCon, where Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed was, with a Kenny Omega shirt on. And I think Austin Creed posted on his socials that it's going to be on site when he sees Kenny.
Yes.
So are we dropping hints? Are they coming to AEW?
I think I would be more surprised if they don't go. Again, there's such the built-in story, and then like you're betting on yourself. You didn't want to take the pay cut. You feel like there's more in your tank. There's more that you need to prove. Then why not go to AEW and tell WWE to fuck you and make $1 billion over there? Because that's going to be money matches. Plan all those.
I agree. I agree. Well, after that 360 from the top rope, it is time to hit that hot tag where we debate some topics. My first topic for you, Nikki, is do you think people that watch a lot of wrestling don't have any commitment to one brand?
I would say yes. I mean, like, I don't know. If you want to watch everything, then you want to watch everything. I don't know. Again, the tribalism doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if I can watch everything, I would. But I guess I am more, obviously, AEW and WWE are more accessible. It's easier to run on my TV than having to go down a rabbit hole or another paywall to find other stuff.
Or pay for another streaming service.
But yeah, I think if you're seeking out other things, then I feel like you're not maybe necessarily tied to one thing. But I could be wrong.
Well, that's why I kind of liked the trailer thing, because you could, watch a lot of the indies on there. Speaking of which, my AEW has signed an indie promotion to broadcast their stuff and put their stuff on the My AEW app.
That's awesome. Which one?
I forgot.
Is it like stateside or?
It was like 1FW, I want to think. I'll have to look it up and let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I had seen that yesterday or the day before. My next topic was giving Darby the AEW World Championship reign the correct choice.
On yesterday, Nick and I and our friend Mikey were debating on it on our Double or Nothing preview. It's fine. I think it did what it's supposed to do. It's a thank you for your service. Thank you for being kind of like not a homegrown, but like a OG day one guy. Have your little run. Bring to me, and this is what Mikey and I were debating, and Nick was against this, but like it kind of brings prestige sort of back to the belt. That like him doing 7 defenses every week, everyone calling him out, chasing after him. That like this makes this belt feel important. Not that it didn't before, but it's like that should be your goal. Everyone needs to chase Darby, and I don't think he was here for a long time, but a good time. I think this is the reign it needs to be. I think he's losing it tonight. And then he can go away for a little bit. But I think it did what it needed to do.
Speaking of Darby, he is getting married right before their next pay-per-view in June. So I think Forbidden Door.
Oh.
I think I've seen he mentioned that like his wedding is like the day before Forbidden Door.
Well.
Which upset my best friend when I sent her the link to where he said that. She's like, another bitch added to the list that I got to take out. But she loves her some Darby.
Oh, boy.
So, after that hot tag, it's time to see if Nikki has any nitpicks of the week.
I don't want to shit on SmackDown as a whole. But they need to stop. And this can be for everyone, but definitely WWE, the run-ins. Every single match on SmackDown basically had someone come in and do something. It's not special if it happens multiple times a night. Pick your 1 or 2 spots and then do something different. Again, it's the law of diminishing returns. If I'm like, and that's Nick's thing every time. He's like, oh, this person's going to interfere in this match. I'm like, no, I just want to see a match sometimes. I know there's interweaving storylines and there's other people involved in the story, but I just want to see the match.
They don't have to run in every second.
Right. And it's just like, I think for SmackDown, like it should have just been like Ricky saying, as much as I want to see Trick Mello, I didn't necessarily need that match. Because I want that to be like for the title at like SummerSlam. So having Ricky interfere makes sense. But then every other match had a thing. Like not every match needs a thing. And I'm really tired of the run-ins. I really am. But I'm glad, like,
run-ins are so great. You get more people on the show. So then the IWC will quit bitching about people sitting in catering, Nikki.
not everyone needs a spot sometimes. I know we're trying to fill 3 hours, and I cannot wait for SmackDown to go back to 2 because I feel like SmackDown, it's been a struggle the past few weeks. Like, Braun Strowman's show cannot come quick enough so we can go back to 2 hours. I know.
I had SmackDown on the big screen, on my big screen TV. I was watching House of Glory on the laptop and was paying more attention to House of Glory. And House of Glory was a hell of a lot better than SmackDown.
Yeah. I don't watch it after our podcast. I'll watch it like Saturday morning when I'm like doing breakfast or getting things ready. Like, it's just sort of like in the background. And even then I feel like it's a slog. But again, if you do,
like, most of the time, if like I don't have like an independent show I'm watching on Friday, I'll turn it on and I find myself dozing off.
Yeah.
It's so just like, it used to be golf would put me to sleep. Now it's SmackDown.
Not SmackDown, and that's sad. Like, I want to support all the shows. I want people to do all the things, but it's just like, it's the same trope constantly, and it doesn't hit the same if it's the same run in every single match. It's what, 3 hours? You probably had 6 matches, if I'm being generous, and 5 of them had run-ins? You know. WWE, sometimes I just want to smack you. But I don't know. I need something. Do something different. You have the biggest, well, again, you're cutting people off and right, but you think you have this big budget. You could bring in people that are like creative, or actually maybe listen to your creative team, because I'm sure they do have creative, and every once in a while we'll get good nuggets, but it's just like, enough. It's a small rant this week.
Maybe they just need to gut their whole creative team and start from scratch. Hire all new people.
I just would like to know, like, what, because again, I don't know if I take Unreal with like a grain of salt. Like, but is there some low-level person that's like pitching great ideas, but it doesn't get to the top somewhere, or it gets kiboshed? Or, like poor Road Dogg was like, let's put the belt on Chelsea. And they're like, why? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I'm hoping there's someone in there that does have good ideas. They're just not being heard. Or maybe you're right, that they need to gut it and start over. But just, we all love wrestling tropes. This one is getting on my nerves lately.
Well, Nikki, today I created a new segment called Cat's Lecture on Why This is a Great Idea. And today's lecture is the case for one Sammy Guevara as our future AEW World Champion. Let's get into it.
Love it. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about one of the most polarizing and talented performers in modern professional wrestling, Sammy Guevara, and more specifically, why he should become AEW World Champion in the future. I get it, this argument is not about whether Sammy is everyone's favorite wrestler. It's not about claiming he is currently the face of AEW, which we all know is MJF. Instead, this lecture centers on one simple question. Has Guevara demonstrated the talent, evolution, and long-term value necessary to justify being AEW World Champion? The answer? Yes. Now, let's look at some of his history in AEW. When it launched in 2019, the company needed young talent capable of growing. Sammy was not brought in as an already established megastar. He wasn't entering with the mainstream recognition of former WWE talent or the legendary aura of independent veterans. Instead, he arrived as AEW's foundational prospects. As a member of the Inner Circle along veteran Chris Jericho, Guevara served as a critical role. He was reckless young protege, the cocky daredevil who would take punishment, create memorable moments, and absorb veteran wisdom while remaining distinctly himself. That mattered. AEW has constantly emphasized rewarding wrestlers who help build the company's identity. Darby Allin. The championship's history of figures of Chris Jericho, Moxley, and Omega, and even my least favorite, Hangman Adam Page, reflect not only drawing power but symbolic investment in AEW's narrative. Sammy belongs to the first generation. Second, now we must discuss his in-ring ability because world championships cannot simply just be personalities. Sammy is among the most athletic, gifted performers in AEW. His offense combines lucha-inspired aerial movements, dramatic risk-taking, and fluid athleticism. The Spanish Fly, which is a springboard cutter, and particularly the 360 senton, are not merely flashy moves, they communicate identity. Sammy wrestles like someone willing to sacrifice his own body to win, that creates emotional stakes. Most importantly, he has matured beyond the label of spot wrestler. Early critics argued that Guevara relied too much on the spectacle, yet over time he developed improving pacing, selling, and in-ring psychology. His bouts with performers like MJF, Cody Rhodes, and Darby Allin showing his sophistication. His latter match victories or repeated reigns as TNT champion demonstrate something promoters value deeply: trust. Championship opportunities are not only about popularity, they're about reliability. AEW repeatedly trusts Sammy in high-risk television matches, title programs, and emotionally significant angles. Promotions do not hand these opportunities to talent they view as expendable. So let's address the criticism. Sammy's career has not been free from controversy or inconsistency. Fan reactions have fluctuated. Some audience view him as naturally unlikable. Others criticize creative decisions surrounding the on-screen relationship and faction affiliations. But we have some key points. Not all world champions need universal affection. Sometimes wrestling mistakes charisma for likability. Guevara possesses something many wrestlers spend their entire career chasing. That's an authentic emotional response. The crowd reacts to him. They cheer him, they boo him, they debate him. Indifference is dangerous in wrestling. Reaction is valuable. Historically, many great champions succeeded precisely because they provoked strong feelings. The wrestling audience often reward performers who lean into authenticity rather than attempting to manufacture heroism. For Sammy, his arrogance, confidence, and reckless bravado may actually position him better as a future complex heel or an anti-hero champion than as a traditional white meat babyface. Next, AEW's generational future. The company cannot depend indefinitely on veterans. Look at WWE. While stars like Jericho and Danielson have elevated AEW tremendously, sustainable promotions eventually have to transition to younger talent. This is where Sammy becomes strategically important. The future depends on wrestlers who grow inside the company system rather than arriving already canonized elsewhere. The conversation sometimes centers on names like Darby Allin and MJF. But Guevara belongs in that same generational discussion. He represents risk, youth, athletic spectacle, and AEW's developmental continuality. As a future AEW world title reign would not merely reward Sammy, it would reinforce their claim that the company creates stars merely than borrowing them. Now, what would a Sammy Guevara title run look like? I know our producer is waiting to hear this story. The most compelling version is not a feel-good coordination. It is character-driven accent. Imagine Sammy embracing his natural swagger, rejecting audience expectation, and transforming fully into an unapologetic, egotistical who believes AEW owes him recognition because he bled for the company from day one. The character writes itself. This is not fantasy booking without foundation. That is leveraging AEW's history. So, In conclusion, the case for Sammy as future AEW World Champion rests on 4 pillars: the foundation importance of AEW's history, elite, athletic, and increasingly mature in-ring performance, strong crowd reaction and undeniability, charisma, strong strategic value as part of AEW's next generation. Now, will Sammy become AEW World Champion tomorrow? Probably not. But professional wrestling thrives on evolution, and Sammy has already evolved from promising prospect to proven performer. So the question is no longer where he's talented enough. The real question is whether AEW is prepared to fully invest in one of its original pillars and allow Sammy to prove that his ceiling has always been higher than many believed.
I wanted to clap. I need you to take a bow.
I will in honor of my NASCAR driver because he always does a bow after he wins.
Beautiful. Yeah, Reese crawling in his skin right now.
I looked up and I see he had the Darth Vader no on there. I was like, oh my God, he's going to make me laugh. So, that is my lecture for the week on why Sammy Guevara should become AEW World Champion in the future.
I love it.
And I am sure when we get to our fan part of the show, they're going to rip me for it. But now it is time to put on some lipsticks and hit those lariats for our lipsticks and lariats of the week. So, who's your lipstick of the week?
As much as maybe the controversy around him, I'm going Ludwig Kaiser, Marcel Bartel, Americano. Him coming out, there was supposed to be that. I'm going to say the Spanish word wrong. I need Mikey on our show. But he was supposed to have that big kind of coming out, and they moved it to a day. And then just him coming out, the crowd going wild, him getting emotional. And it's just something that was supposed to be such a joke gimmick that turned into something so serious, and how much he respects it and respects the American culture. It's just been so beautiful, and I cannot wait. And then I was worried because obviously everything, he got arrested, all this other stuff. He did make it to that celebration show. And then there's the show on Saturday that I watched. And the whole thing was him and Chad Gable couldn't touch each other because that will negate the match. Mm-hmm. And then it ties into the girlfriend. Chad Gable's wearing his girlfriend's face on a t-shirt. And then they start brawling. And I'm like, oh no, is this the way of them to push back the match or get rid of the match because everything that's going on with him? And then the new GM, Rey Mysterio, and I got feelings about that, but he's now forget the contract, you guys are wrestling next week. And I was like, okay, good. Then I feel like WWE is still keeping stock in him. I think it'd be insane for him to lose at this point because he's so over there. And I love him cutting a promo in Spanish that just feels so heartfelt and he means it. And I just so incredible for him to kind of be Gunther's kind of lackey, them not doing anything. Then here's this joke gimmick, and then turning it to something that was so over and so great. It's again, maybe the chicken shit to chicken salad or right. I don't know. I'm just such a fan of him, and I'm glad that this whatever happened is not kind of derailing him. And I hope next week he wins. We see Chad Gable, and then I would want him to go after Dom and take that belt off Dom in AAA.
Yeah, I forgot. Like I said, I was at the race last night, so I didn't get to see AAA. So I'll probably turn it on before I go to bed tonight.
It was the main
I think their feud's better in AAA than it is putting it on WWE program here in the States.
Yes. 1,000%. Because then they flip flop it. They make you think that Chad Gable's the face. I sound like Nick. He's the face on Maine, when in AAA it's the opposite. And I just think the reaction that he gets in Mexico pales to what Chad gets on Maine. And I would definitely watch the match between the Americanos and the Creed brothers. I think that was super good. That led into their brawl. And I just feel Ludwig screaming and then his trying to get after Chad Gable, he just plays it so well. It was he kind of had this. It's like, why wasn't it better when he was like Imperium, or like I feel like they kind of let the reins off him, and you can kind of see how good he is. So take that, Ric Flair. Ludwig's amazing. He's my
Dom has had the championship since September, which is almost a full year reign. So yeah, it might be time to take it off of him.
I think because they're doing the double Triple Mania show in September. I'm hoping they can build, like, Ludwig wins, build him up for him to take the belt off Dom.
Because build a story with them. Yep.
Yeah, because I feel like they've cooled off on Dom so incredibly much that, like, I think maybe take the belt off him, and then, like, I know you're not going to repackage Dom, but I think he needs something. Like, the Judgment Day is dying. You haven't really seen him on the AAA shows, like Americanos, though that storyline's really carrying the show, the bulk of it. So it's like, I think it's time.
My lipstick of the week, and I know many of y'all are probably going to think it should be a Lariat, but it is the return of the one Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, who showed up Monday night, F5 Oba Femi, pissed me off because he was only 25 minutes from my house, and I was like, do I want to go? Do I don't want to go? I don't really want to pay what they want for those tickets just to see, Braun or Austin Theory. If I'd have known Brock Lesnar was going to be there, I would have paid what they wanted for those tickets to see Brock Lesnar. Damn you, WWE. But that is my lipstick of the week, that Brock fooled everybody into thinking he retired.
So then do you think he's going to be, I guess we could table this, but do you think he's going to beat Oba and then we're going to have a more retirement match at SummerSlam?
I do, but I don't think if they do that, I don't think it's going to mean, oh shit, that dude's car's on fire. I don't think it's going to mean as much as it did when we all thought he actually retired at WrestleMania.
I know, that's why I kind of feel bad. Like, it was just like a great moment.
Because that felt like a Brock Lesnar thing to do. Because, know, he's definitely not there for moments. He's just there for the paycheck. But, I mean, that was probably the best way to send him out. And then it kind of makes Oba look bad because you had Oba beat him. And then I get, you don't have anybody really for Oba to face. That's why, you kind of had to quit doing the open challenge only to bring Brock back.
Yeah.
But I get to see Brock on my TV.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. So, who gets your Lariat of the week?
I'm just going to keep shitting on SmackDown. And I don't like making my ladies a Lariat. But what are we doing with this mid-card?
My God. It is so funny because my Lariat also has to pertain to ladies.
No, I hate that so much. But this is just
and it looked like I was turning a corner.
I know. No. I don't know what they're doing. I thought maybe getting the belt off Julia, we would do something. No, I hate this so much. I don't want to shit on the ladies, but it's just that is more creative. Like, you finally took the belt off Julia because she was doing nothing with it. I don't know what's going on with Tiffy because I feel like she's not in it anymore. The match with Lash, like, I felt like they had no chemistry at all. And again, this is what part of me hopes that, like, bringing live events back can get some of these people chemistry, because a lot of it doesn't feel like it's there. And then I do like, again, Chelsea Green can do no wrong. She's our queen. I'm glad she's back on TV. And then she's trying to, like, be in cahoots with Tiffy, which is fine. But then you insert Blake Monroe. You do vignette after vignette after vignette. And then she was just like, oh, saw you at the ring. Wish I didn't. Bye. And, like, walked away. I'm like, that's how you debut her? Shitting on Chelsea Green in a weird way? That whole...
Wouldn't you have rather had her debut as, like, Tiffany's opponent
Yeah, if she's doing
Like,
these
let
open
Tiffany
challenges.
do the open challenge, and then out comes Blake Monroe
Yeah.
instead of Lash Legend.
Yeah.
Why would you even send Lash out? She's in a tag with Nia, who's actually going after the tag belts.
The tag belts.
I mean, do you not have any other women that are not in a tag that you could have? And like you said, that would have been the perfect opportunity
Right.
to debut her, show her in-ring ability or lack of, depending.
Right.
I haven't really seen her in WWE, so I can't critique her really.
I just think that
Instead of oh, I wish I hadn't have seen you, Chelsea.
Yeah, it just felt like very, and friends that call into our show that literally just watch main roster WWE, that's all they watch, had no idea who she was in AEW or NXT. They literally asked Nick, it was like, is she supposed to be like a female Val Venus? Like, I don't get her just like being in the bathtub. And then she comes out and then she's like in a towel. Like, what is this? So again, if you have no one who has any idea who she is, it's like, you're not selling her remotely. And then people who actually remember her from AEW when she was actually good, it's like, what are you doing? And then, like, did they feed Tiffy Lash because of, I didn't think they were going to win and they didn't win. They didn't get the tag belts back last night. Like, are they going to split up Lash and Nia? And, like, you're trying to get reps in for Lash? I don't know. I just feel like that division the women don't have any chemistry with each other, and it bothers me. And I'm hoping that maybe a couple of house shows are doing them more, you can get these girls kind of on the same page. Because again, if you literally have 3 minutes on SmackDown and you're supposed to put something together, that's not enough time to build anything.
Yeah, that's a fair
And it's
point.
like people want to shit on them, but it's like you literally get to do your job for 3 minutes once a week. You're gonna be terrible at it.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Because it's different of like you practicing you're in the PC than being in a live crowd in front of everybody. So again, give my lady some time. But like, makes me sad.
Well, my Lariat of the week goes to the women's tag team title match from Saturday night's main event. That was god awful. It goes back to me why I hate women's wrestling. I have nothing against Paige. Like Paige, met her, sweet lady. I just don't know if she has it in the ring anymore. And Bree, just go home and take care of your babies and your husband. You don't need to be on TV.
I think that's what puts Bree in a bad spot because she kind of has to be the workhorse of the group, and she's not built to do that. Because I think they're like Paige is your hot tag, so Bree's got to go in there and take a brunt of everything. And as much as I love my Bellas, it's not great. It's not pretty, and I just feel bad that she's in a spot that she's not meant to be in. And I feel like she's trying, but no matter what she does, everyone's just gonna shit on it. I want them to drop the belts soon. I wouldn't want it to be like, I'm glad Nia and Lash didn't win them back. But I would want Paige to be like a manager or give her back like being the GM somewhere. I think that's more her speed than being back in the ring, unfortunately. But I'm glad they gave her this little run.
Well, it is time for the main event. So, were there any highlights from this week's show that deserve a spotlight in our main event? I thought Saturday night's main event, from what I've seen watching it at the track last night, I will praise them. They had more than 4 matches.
They did.
And they actually let them wrestle in the ring. Some of those matches got some time.
I really liked, and I thought it was going to main. And then when it didn't, I was like, all right, well, I guess Penta's retaining. But like the Penta Ethan Page match was really fun. I think, again, they have chemistry in the ring. Like they just flow together so well. It was such a fun match.
I thought if any title was going to change, it was going to be that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if they're going to actually let Ethan win the title, maybe at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's doing great character work and he's doing great in-ring work, so you need
Yeah.
to reward him with a title.
Yeah. Again, he's your future star. I don't think he, like, loses anything. I think I saw one headline. It was, like, buried. I was like, did Nick write this? I'm like, if you lose one match to a champion, you're not buried. I think he's a future star. I think by the end of the year, if not SummerSlam, he'll have a belt. He's a future champion, future star. I would give him a main, top belt, but
What did you think of the Becky Sol Ruka match? That
It's-
only lasted like a little over 2 minutes.
It was an angle. It's an angle to get them on Italy. Because I feel like there's probably criticism that there was only one women's match on there. And that women's match was announced on SmackDown. I'm fine with it. It's like not the first or last time they're kind of turning a botch that happened into storyline. That it's like everyone crapped on the last two soul snatchers she did, and then she goes to do another one, and then everyone's like she fucked it up on Jessica Carr, and then the DQ, and that leads to Italy. I thought it was lame, but then I was like, all right, it was just an angle. It's to get you from A to B. So,
well, my thoughts were Raw was bad, SmackDown was bad, and Dynamite was mid for their go home show this week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like you. I don't even think SmackDown going to 2 hours is going to help SmackDown.
I hope so. They can't fill 3 hours. So I think infinitely it will be better. I'm like, it doesn't have a choice.
Well, that's all we have for the main event because this week's shows were kind of bad. So It is time for some fan interaction. So get your questions in for our ringside fan turnbuckle segment, where we can give you our opinions and answer your lovely questions.
What I don't know if someone's going to ask this, but we didn't really touch on it. Like Double or Nothing tonight.
Yes.
Excited? Not excited?
I'm always excited for AEW pay-per-views because even their weakest cards, like if you're just looking at them, when they actually go into performing, they are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad I'm going to get to see my man Omega, but I don't know if I'm excited about him being in that Stampede match.
He doesn't need to be in that match. He does not need to be in that match. Again,
I mean, I'm worried about... He's probably going to try some crazy shit and get himself hurt again, and then he's going to be out again, and it's going to screw up everything. Yeah. I'm excited to see Nick Foley on the pre-show.
Yeah. Should be interesting. I think him and Renee will have like good chemistry and can do a thing together because they worked obviously so long together in WWE, and I love Renee Paquette.
The only one criticism I do have about this is you are putting your women's tag team champions on the buy-in, not the main show. And you're giving them a 5-minute tag match against Zeta Steel and Viva Van, which I like both of them. But you're going to have to build up some female tag teams to go against Cross and Bang.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's... What happened to the Inspiration? I feel like they had one match and I haven't seen them since. Or maybe 2 matches. But like
I don't know if like they relegated them to Ring of Honor on a pay per needed basis or what.
I feel like they debuted the women's tag. It's like, all right, this would be cool. They have tag teams. And now all of a sudden I feel like there's no tag teams. I'm like, well then I'd rather see it on Julia and Sky Blue and just give that faction all the gold. But I don't think they're credible enough opponents against the stature of Megan and Cross.
Well, the good news is we won't get Daniel Garcia in the main show. We'll get him on the buy-in. But unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get Orange Cassidy on the main show.
I am wearing a best friend shirt, so I'm sorry.
But that's what makes us so great, because you like him, I don't.
I told Reese when we started this that every one of our shows, I would wear a different shirt with a woman on it, and this is my Statlander shirt that just happens to have everybody else on it. So far, 11 episodes, I've worn a different shirt every time. I don't know how much longer I can keep this going, but I'm going to try. And I wanted to find my Sammy. I have the Inner Circle shirt that is like the Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction cover. I don't know where that shirt is. When I find it, I'm wearing it because Sammy Guevara is right here. It's at the top of the cross, so Reese can see it the whole time. So when I wear, that will be my one exception when I find where I put that shirt.
Yeah, I forgot to put Double or Nothing in my notes, so
no, all good. We'll talk.
So I'm glad you brought it up. So we do have some questions.
Yes.
One question was, if Corbin comes back, do you think he brings Dijak back with him? I mean, you could bring him back if Dijak wants to come back, and that would help your tag division. But I have a feeling they're going to put Corbin with Danhausen.
Which I really don't. You know, I wave the flag of Danhausen on the show. There's two people I do not want together. If they can bring Dijak and Corbin back, but have their characters from the Indies, I feel like they did Dijak so dirty so many times.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll come back.
I don't know. I don't know. Because he should have been bigger. He should have been a champion. I would have put the IC belt on him. Like, I don't know whose cereal he took a shit in, but I don't understand why that he wasn't bigger than he was.
I agree. All right. What's our next question, producer man? Any surprises or certain moments you'd like to see at Double or Nothing? I'm going to give a hot take here.
Ooh.
I would actually like to see Darby retain and MJF lose his hair.
He spent so much money on that hair.
Which I know he probably won't, but I just think it would be funny if he did. And any surprises? There is rumor that Wardlow is at Double or Nothing tonight.
I heard that.
Could he cost MJF and have MJF be shaved bald?
Who was he in the Don Callis family before he got? This poor baby has been back and forth.
He was.
I just want him to be healthy. I mean, I could say it's in New York. It's in New York City. I want my Eddie Kingston to be somewhere. Could he just have a random little 2-second thing in the stadium match? I would love that. I will die on that shield. I love Eddie Kingston. Fight me. Because I love him so much. I know it's not going to happen, and I get shit from everyone for it, but Eddie Kingston forever. I know that the Stampede, I'm assuming there's going to be someone that's going to pop up or do something crazy. Thinking of all the previous ones, there's always a cameo. There's always something in the background. So I think 7-on-7 is too much. I think it's going to be that fun break between, all the serious stuff.
What are your expectations for tonight's event? And they have a chance to be a pay-per-view of the year contender. Any AEW pay-per-view has the chance to be a pay-per-view of the year contender.
I mean, with Okada Takeshita and Ospreay Joe, I'm like, how can it kind of not be? Like, those are the two matches I'm most looking forward to on the card. But I agree with you. Kind of everyone. Oh, another Eddie fan. I think again, any AEW match, especially when they're quote unquote big four, like it's gonna be good.
Okay, I just heard my son yell, "Oh my god!" So I'm waiting for him to bust out.
No, I'm just like, what's happening? He needs to tell us everything.
Oh, do you think there will be any debuts or returns tonight at Double or Nothing? Well, as we speculated, there is rumor that Wardlow is there. Could we see Wardlow returning? If Wardlow is in the Callis family and Takeshita wins, could Wardlow be the one to come out and beat the shit out of Takeshita and then challenge Takeshita?
That I want to be mad at. I just really think Takeshita needs to win, but then getting beat up by the family afterwards, and kind of that's his like getting the boot, then I'd be fine with that. I don't know who else. Like all the releases from WWE, it's obviously way too early. Like, I don't know. We've been saying this like every pay-per-view. Do we finally get like a Jay White back? Like, I don't know if there's anyone really besides him and Wardlow. I guess maybe Mercedes. Like, is there someone that has not been on TV that could come back?
Well, since Willow had to relinquish her TBS title and pull out of the Owen, do you see that maybe they put Mercedes in as that wild card person?
I guess perhaps
why wouldn't you advertise her? Be like, okay, we're gonna put Mercedes in, or just let it be a surprise.
I mean, the amount of money you spend on her to get her, in your promotion, I would think you'd want to promote and use her to kind of sell tickets.
That's what I'm thinking, but also, she's been gone for a while, and the surprise of her returning would get everybody talking.
So would she because Windsor's not supposed to have a match tonight. Like that got moved, and that's why we have Mina and Athena, right?
Yes.
So just after that match, whoever wins does Athena win because her and Mercedes have that history that she?
That's what I'm thinking.
And steps to her.
It could be.
Then you advertise her as the wild card. So you kind of get both. It's like, oh, she popped up, and now, oh my God, she's going to be the wild card. Let's all buy tickets to that. But she won last year. I don't know. I think they should use this to kind of give it to new people. But Mercedes also, I don't know. I wouldn't want Mercedes to take the belt off Thekla, so I don't. Or she can enter, just not win it.
I don't know. So I know it's harsh for Willow to make a statement. I would put Red Velvet in her place to really aggravate Willow. Well, damn.
I guess it really depends on how long Willow's out for. If she's out for 6 months.
Well, I mean, she's probably going to have to be... If she relinquished the title, she probably knows she's going to be out for a good amount of time. And because normally in AEW, if you're only going to be out a month or 2 or 3, he doesn't have you relinquish the title.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking it's got to be something major.
Yeah. Then when she finally says she's out 6, 8, 9 months, when she comes back, I don't know if I really want to see her go in a feud with Red Velvet. Unless they build up Red Velvet back up.
Yeah, I mean, they could.
I think if he's smart and has a person, I think you would put a bigger name than Red Velvet. No offense, but I think you should put a bigger name in there.
Britt Baker?
I don't know why she gets so much shit, but I loved her. Early AEW days or pandemic era days, I think she was so good. But
most people don't even know who Lacey Lane is.
That's Kaden Carter, right?
Well, I mean, I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm in my brain, when you say Lacey Lane, I think Lacey Evans, and I do not like Lacey Evans remotely. You'd have to build her up, though, because again, as someone who I don't watch enough ROH, that again, you say Lacey Lane, I'm like, my brain has to be oh, Kaden Carter, and to be Kaden Carter from WWE doesn't, right? I think you'd have to build. I wouldn't be mad at it because I think she is fun in the ring. I think you just have to. You'd have to build her up on Dynamite for, I think, more casual people to care.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad at it.
Who do you think will end Flamer's 1,015 plus day reign in AAA?
It's gonna be La Catalina. Like, I feel bad because,
It
again,
has to be since she just went over there and she's like the
That's-
biggest name.
that's the only, because again, I'm trying to watch that more. But like, Flamer's really the only woman that they really show. And then when you have it's Bailey, Lola, and La Catalina versus no, I'm gonna say that wrong. Mikey, I'm sorry. But against Flamer and her group, I would think that would only make sense for it to be La Catalina, unless you're going to pull the trigger on Lola Vice and have her kind of have both belts, but then she's going to have 3 belts. That seems a lot. There you go.
Well, why don't they just put Liv Morgan down there and let Liv have 2 belts? I mean, Dom's the AAA champion, so she could be the women's champion.
A year ago, obviously this wasn't really a big of a thing a year ago, but when they barely have Dom and Liv together on TV remotely. Like, I just feel like they broke up, but no one's like saying that they broke up. They're like on a break because you don't really see them together anymore. Not like when they were first hot and heavy and they ran every single segment on Raw was them. Mm-hmm. Then that would make sense. Put it on the white girl, put on the Gringa, and have her and Dom be like the king and queen of AAA and get all the heat. That would have been great. Now it's just like there's nothing there. Then I'd rather see someone. If I was AAA, I would keep the belt on Flamer for a longer because I think there's more intrigue in that story of the 3 of them together. But it's La Catalina is kind of the only woman that they're kind of touting over there besides Lola. But she's your NXT and your mixed tag. I know that's another WWE affiliation thing that needs to big up their women.
MJF getting that head shaved could help recovery as well, but film roles are tricky with what he has coming up. Well, yeah, that's true.
So unless he's getting it redone, because they said there's a comedian, Mateo Lane, who also got all these transplants, and they basically you have to cut it down and shave it, pull their hair from here and fix it here, and he's done 3 of them. So could they use this as a storyline? He's shaving his head because he's got to get it fixed.
Could be.
I just don't think I think he's an attractive man. I think he doesn't have the head structure to be bald.
I don't think he does neither.
I don't. And again, married to a bald man. I don't think it's not a cute look.
Yeah, not everybody can pull off the bald look.
No.
And yeah, I don't
honestly, and your boy Theory needs to grow some hair back. I don't like him bald. Here's too long and here's not enough. I'm just he needs to tighten that up.
Theory needs maybe the Wheeler Yuta look right now. Wheeler's hair is coming back.
I don't need him super long, and he needs a little bit of something. I'm now when Braun Breaker shaved it. He has it was right before Backlash. His hair was getting just a smidge longer, and then the next Raw he shaved it. I'm no, it was just that perfect length. But I don't know. MJF is gonna look real bad bald.
All right, enough about MJF and his hair. Which faction ends first? The Callis family, the Hurt Syndicate, the Demand, the Death Riders, or the Bloodline? Well, we know it's not going to be the Bloodline. Don't think it's going to be the Hurt Syndicate. We've already seen cracks in the Callis family, so I might have to say the Callis family.
But do you think they'll just splinter? Again, because the Don Callis family is so big. We're the Don Callis family. That you can just shrink some people, but still have the family there. Because you break it. Takeshita can leave, Fletcher can leave, but what are you gonna do at Lance Archer? I think he'll maybe just have a smaller family. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't really see any of these people breaking up, to be honest with you.
If I had to pick one, I would probably either say the Callis family or the Demand. Because everybody's been wanting the Death Riders to break up forever, and that doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
I think the one that would be the quietest storyline would be the Hurt Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really just two of them, and then
Yeah.
like MVP. So like, and again, Bobby's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So if they broke up, does anybody know or care? I don't know.
Well, that's true. And it's not like they're, Shelton or Bobby are both good individually. They're good as a team too, so.
Yeah.
And it's not like AEW is not hurting for tag teams. They do have tag teams.
Right.
So if you broke them up, it wouldn't be like a huge thing like if you do in WWE, who has no tag team.
Right. But somehow both places are doing nothing with their tag teams.
Exactly.
That should have been my rant.
You can save that for next week.
Open cage.
Do you think Ray in-ring career is over now that he's the new general manager for AAA? And how are you still enjoying his voiceovers?
And that was the thing, because I was talking to Mikey on our show, like, who would be the general manager? And he's more into the Lucha Libre than I am. Rey Mysterio was not on our bingo cards. I kind of offhandedly said it should be Rey so we can get off commentary because he's fucking terrible at it. And then they made him the general manager. I was like, okay, great. Then it'll just be Corey and JBL, who I love together. And then they can just either let them speak Spanish or give me subtitles. Then they bring Savio Vega, who's somehow worse than Rey Mysterio. Somehow worse. And I was like, give me a Los Garza. Give me one of them. Give me a young person that can translate and has more personality. Again,
Risa, wait till they make more use of Conan.
Well, if he's healthier, again, the first episode that was, and it was just Conan and Corey, and Conan was trying to give all this history and all this stuff. Like, I rather respected that than a deadpan. Which is crazy because Conan's also sort of deadpan, but I found it less offensive than Ray and Savio Vega, which I feel like are more charismatic and just like talking than trying to be on comms. I'm like, let it just be Corey and JBL, and then give me a subtitle if you can. And if you can't, then fine. I didn't get all of what Ludwig was saying, but I felt it. And I don't need to know every word that he's saying, but I can feel his intentions. Then just let it ride.
I agree.
You know how many, like, Selena, they just released her, but Selena Vega could have been right in that spot. I know, like, I cover your ears, but Thunder Rosa for a while was on the Spanish commentary. Like, why can't they do something like give me a younger person on your roster that makes more sense than Savio Vega out of seemingly nowhere, who's now worse than Ray. I think Ray makes sense to be GM because his two little spots obviously making the Americanos match still be a match, and then there's going to be a rematch between Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid. I think those were good. But I just need someone better on comms.
Do you think now is the time to make a shakeup to WWE and AEW's on-screen management structure? Could we see new people take different roles, or is there someone you would make the GM for either promotion? Well, I don't want GMs on AEW because that's what you have WWE for, and AEW is supposed to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've got fuck you money, then you're not going to have management structure or different management structure at AEW because the owner has the most money, so he is the management.
I know, a couple minutes.
WWE. Oh, I could see Triple H getting fired and them swinging somebody in the creative department. General manager roles for WWE. I kind of like both of the managers that they have, general managers.
I love Adam Pearce, and I wouldn't want him to leave Raw. I do like Nick Aldis, but I want Aldis to wrestle. I'd rather see him in more of that capacity. And again, I think if you can kind of put Paige maybe back, or she can be like, I want maybe Drew to come back and feud with Aldis, and he goes on this little like excursion to like be a wrestler. Then they have like Paige kind of sub it or someone sub it while he's taking care of business, and you can put Nick Aldis back in it, because I do honestly like both of them. I agree with you. I don't think AEW should have a GM. But now that you have Mick Foley on the books, does he come back as commissioner and have his little commissioner shirt?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think AEW needs it, and I think it kind of works for WWE. And right now I think Pierce and Aldis makes sense, but I wouldn't be surprised if they shake it up.
Okay, dokie. Do we have any last questions before we get out of here? Is tonight's tag team I Quit match crucial for the future of the AEW tag team division? No, because whoever wins, it's really not going to matter because they're two old fart teams.
This should have been my rant. This is like the least match that I care about for Double or Nothing. I really don't care about either one of them. In my predictions, I went FTR because I don't want to see Cage and Cook win. This is not a nostalgia thing for people that were tag team champions 1,000 years ago in a different company. I don't think this does anything for AEW, and Copeland hasn't put anybody over in any of his time in AEW. So I really don't want to see them with the tag titles. Again, I want Christian Cage going back to being an asshole and begging people's moms. Give me that. I'm tired of Copeland. Copeland needs to go. But I know I'm going to lose that prediction, but I'm going FTR because I don't like Adam Copeland. You're going to trip on this wire. Sorry, the dog's stepping on my power cord. 2 minutes. Come on here.
All right. Any other last minute questions before we move on? I would like to see Regal running creative. For WWE, yeah. I generally have no clue what is going on with them, but I want to see more younger and dynamic tag teams. I agree, and AEW does have younger tag teams than WWE, but I think Tony Khan's a little scared to pull the trigger.
You gotta push your babies. I have to say that at least once a show.
You do. That is your key phrase. Push your babies.
Push your babies, because I'm tired. Again, as much as I love FTR, these really are two old tag teams that I'm really super over.
And neither tag team really puts people over.
No.
So.
Like, the Young Bucks, FTR, and Cope and Cage, I want out of the tag team scene so bad. I'm tired of all three of them.
Like, they need to be jobbers now and put over the young talent.
Yeah. But it's just like, we talked about it, I guess, 2 weeks ago now, that the Young Bucks made the dogs look like dog shit. Like, you should be putting, these are your hot new people over from New Japan, make them look strong. And they just, like, throw them into each other. They do their moves on each other. Like, you make them look stupid.
And I do think the Guns got cheated out of their tag team title run because they kept getting hurt. So I'd like to see them with the titles again. I love the Guns.
Healthy. Same. They need to be healthy and go on a run, because I really like them with the belts. Like, I'm worried about like the Dolph Ziggler vibes, that they're good, but they're injury prone, but they make other people look good. So they're maybe not pushed as maybe they should be.
The same with Private Party.
Yeah. Because that's, again, Private Party beat the Young Bucks. When is that? One of the first AEWs to win that, to do the tournament, and it's like, and then just like they can't be healthy, and it's like, it's heartbreaking.
Okay, Nikki. And with that, episode 11 of the Lipsticks and Lariat podcast must come to an end. But before we do, we're going to get in some plugs and show changes. So there will be no show next Sunday because Nikki has something going on.
Which
And
I don't.
I know you're all disappointed. However, do not be disappointed because we will be back on Thursday with our post Double or Nothing and pre-class shows and whatever else we decide we want to discuss. So instead of Sunday, we'll be here on Thursday. Also, if you're looking for something to read, you can check my articles out on themidpodcast.com. I just wrote a great article about Kyle Busch. Go check it out. And you can also subscribe to the Mid Podcast on YouTube at the Mid Podcast 6436. And where can they find my beautiful tag team partner at?
We are at the bar at Nick Teodoro on YouTube. We are the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour, and me and my hot husband sit at our bar downstairs, drink and talk shit about wrestling, and mostly shit on each other. It's a fun time. Come hang out. Tell us what you're drinking, what you're thinking.
That's the best when y'all start shitting on each other.
That's literally our love language. Like, when I first brought Nick around to some of my friends, they're like, "You're like mean to each other." I was like, "No, this is like how we communicate." It's our love language.
Make sure you like and subscribe to the show because there could be a lariat coming out of the blue for you. Or I may have to send a sexist friend to kick your ass. Don't forget our schedule change. And until then, get your ass out of my house.
Bye.